Sai Vitmahe Satya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayatu.
Om Sri Sai Ram, Sri Satya Sai ParabrahmaNe Namaha. Tapovanam, Sri Sai Satcharitra, Parayanam, Chapter 18. Dear to the deprived and near to the needy, difficulties are created to increase the yearning and to shift the sincere devotee from the rest. Baba. Adversity brings God closer. In Sri Mahabharata, the Pandavas completed their exile in the forest and safely returned home. Kunti Devi, their mother, was overjoyed. In gratitude, she bowed and offered salutations to Lord Krishna. He said, "My dear aunt, is there anything more you want? I will grant it." She answered humbly, "O Lord Krishna, it was only because my sons were undergoing unbearable hardships in the forest and living on roots and tubers. You were constantly with them and guarding them. Similarly, I can earn your support and protection, your sweet and intimate love and your proximity only when I have been in difficulties. So I pray to you to grant me only hardships all the time." A similar incident connected to Sri Satya Sai's life is worth recalling. Swami decided that in one particular year, summer classes would be held in Ooty and took all the students there. When the classes ended and just before setting out for Bangalore, he told them, "As you have come all the way to Ooty, go for sightseeing, look around and enjoy all the beauty in God's creation." The students insisted that Swami should accompany them. Otherwise, they said they too would not go. Their idea was to get themselves photographed along with Swami in the scenic surroundings. Swami agreed and arranged bus transport to go to Doddabetta, a fine spot near 8,000 feet above sea level. He told the boys to go ahead and arrange to take photographs and that he would join them thereon. Sometime after they left, Swami left Nandanavanam for Doddabetta by car. After his departure, two young men came to Nandanavanam to see him. On learning that Swami was on his way to Doddabetta, they too left for Doddabetta on motorcycle. In their anxiety to reach and in fact overtake Swami's car, they drove at high speed. Persons traveling with Swami in his car wondered, "Who are these boys? They are driving too fast. They must be rowdies." Baba corrected them, No, you should not rush to conclusions without knowing the facts. They are eager to have my darshan." At a turn on the road, the young men on the motorcycle came too close to Swami's car at a high speed. They lost control and fell down. Immediately, Swami had his car stopped. He went to them and wiped the dust and dirt off their bodies and gently reprimanded them. "My dear boys, are you hurt? Why are you driving at such a high speed? You should not do such rash things. If you wanted to see Swami, you could have come to Nandanavanam." The boys replied, "Swami, we very much wanted to see you. Now that we met with this mishap, we have got not only your darshan but also your sparshan, touch and sambhashan too, conversation. If we had not fallen off like this, you would not have come to so close to us. You would not have patted us on our heads, so affectionately, and you would not have talked to us with such sweet intimacy. So, Swami, even if you give us any amount of hardship and adversity, grant us also your darshan, sparshan and sambhashan. In order to receive the bliss of this kind, we will be prepared to undergo any amount of suffering." After narrating this touching tale of love and compassion, Bhagawan Baba said, "God does not bestow as much closeness and love when you are comfortable and enjoying life as when you are in trouble and suffering the pangs of adversity. In God's view of things, both suffering and happiness are equal. Those who love God with all their heart and soul will have no desires. There are any number of people who are ruined for lack of sincere faith, but there is not a single believer abandoned by God. None whatsoever. I too fear her. Once morning, women devotees were entering the audience hall in Prasanthi Nilayam to have darshan of Swami. They were observing due silence and were also walking in orderly lines. But a lady volunteer at the entrance was cut and rude in her manners and was using somewhat impolite words while trying to hustle them inside. Many women felt bad about her behavior. One of them was very much upset. While she came to Prasanthi Nilayam to attain mental tranquility, she thought this insensate volunteer was causing more unrest in her mind. She decided to inform Swami accordingly. To her good fortune, Bhagawan Baba gave an interview to her along with some women devotees. She could have utilized that sublime opportunity to raise her personal issues with Swami. Instead, she chose to ventilate her grievance at the inappropriate conduct of the volunteer at the entrance. As soon as she set foot in the interview room, she burst out, "Swami, did you notice that lady volunteer on the woman's side who is talking too much and using harsh words? She is disturbing our peace of mind even in this holy place. Why did you have that volunteer posted on duty at the entrance, Swami?" As he heard this tirade, Swami, who was seated on his throne, bent slightly forward and said to her, "Bangaru, I will let you know a secret. I too fear her." The devotee was surprised but delighted and went into peals of laughter on hearing Baba's well-kept secret. The whole room was filled with laughter. Here is a meaningful spiritual lesson given by Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai to his devotees. He did not dismiss that volunteer in anger for her rough conduct. At the same time, with a simple soothing word, he swept away the grievance of this genuinely hurt devotee and pacified her with his humorous and love. Baba thus exhorts all his devotees, if you too face any problem or difficulty in life and get upset, recall my sweet words and jovial conversation and delight in them. Thereby you will be able to forget your grief or hurt more easily. Often did the devotee receive rough treatment again at the hands of the same volunteer at the entrance of the audience hall. But she could bear it with equanimity by simply recalling the sweet, disarming and frolicsome words of Swami and happily laughing within herself. Whenever you are troubled by life's problems, recollect Swami's divine discourses, exhortations, parables and tales. Your troubles will be swept away like dark clouds driven away by wind. This incarnation in human form of the eternal universal supreme reality, the personification of truth, awareness and bliss, the embodiment of unbounded compassion, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai is showering divine bliss, Ananda on humanity and enabling mankind to easily cross the difficult to cross ocean of birth and death. 9 types of bhakti. According to Sri Mahabhagavata, Shravanam hearing, Kirtanam singing praises, Smaranam remembering, Padasevanam touching feet, Vandanam salutation, Archanam worshipping, Dasyam serving, Sakhyam friendship and Atma Nivedanam surrender are the 9 types of devotion to God. These are like steps that lead by stages to reach the and merge with God. Let us consider an illustration that holds a mirror, as it were, to the experience of hundreds of thousands of devotees visiting Prasanthi Nilayam. First of all, we hear quite a lot about Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai. We hear that Sri Sathya Sai stays in the holy place of Puttaparthi in the Ananthapuram District, that he gives public audience morning and evening every day in the audience hall in Prasanthi Nilayam, that he is clothed in a long robe of red color, that he wears a distinctive crown of black hair, and that he presents a magnetic divine vision to the onlooker. He also hear that the very sight of Bhagavan gives indescribable happiness and that he can relieve every suffering by a mere touch or word. We hear that he can materialize any and everything by a mere movement of his divine hand and that he can cure any disease by his mere will. We hear hundreds of such experiences from all sides. This is the first stage, Shravanam, the hearing. Back home, the whole household will gather together and exchange notes and experiences. Have you heard this? Have you also heard about this miracle, this wonder? Sri Sathya Sai Baba is God incarnate. They say he is an ocean of mercy. He is the embodiment of compassion and love. We recount instances of every such attribute and in the process we sing his praises. This is the second stage, Kirtanam. We are led to the strong desire to visit Puttaparthi someday and have Swami's darshan. The mind fills with Swami. We remember Swami's divine leelas and mahimas, signs of divinity, and we are suffused with wonderment and anticipation as well as intense pleasure. We dream of Swami while asleep. We think of Swami when awake. This is the third stage, Smaranam. Then, on one blessed day, we reach Puttaparthi. We go into the audience hall of darshan. Swami moves slowly towards us, radiating flame-colored illumination, and stops right in front of us. We forget ourselves in immense happiness. We salute him in a gesture of obeisance at his lotus feet and touch our eyes with our hands, so blessed. This then is the fourth stage, Pada Sevanam, touching the feet. Swami graciously invites us into the interview room. Beaming with pleasure, we troop into the room and sit at his lotus feet. He sits on his throne very close to us. We look at him and unbelievingly wonder and rejoice at our good fortune. This is the fifth stage, Vandanam, salutation. We place flowers at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai. Bhagavan tells us, Bangaru, I do not want these flowers that fade in no time. What I want is the other flower, your heart. When we hear Swami's mellifluous voice, 1,000 musical instruments sing in our inner consciousness. This is the sixth stage, Archanam, worship. Then Bhagavan casts his cool, refreshing looks at us and asks smiling enchantingly, Bangaru, what do you want? We reply, Swami, if you are kind enough to allow it, we will stay here serving you. He inquires, what will you do here? We say, we will do whatever you order, Swami. This is the seventh stage, Dasya, serving. After some conversation, we become more self-assured and bolder. We develop some closeness, friendship with Swami. We tell him about our problems. Swami assures us, Bangaru, why fear when I am here? I am in your home. I am always with you. I am ever by your side. You will find me within sight whenever you need me. I will protect you at all times. This close companionship gives us a lot of self-confidence and courage. This is the eighth stage, Sakhyam, the friendship. After some days, Bhagavan again asks us, what do you want? We have reached where we are able to reply, Swami, I need nothing. I am completely yours. Use me as your instrument. I am merely incidental, a mere tool in your hands. This is the ninth stage, Atma Nivedana, the surrender. Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai says, first I will give you whatever you ask for. Later I make you ask for what I have come to give you. Om Sri Sathya Sai ParabrahmaNe Namaha. Tapovanam Sri Sathya Sai Satcharitramu. The end of chapter 18. Sarvam Sri Sathya Sai Charanaravinda Arpanamastu. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Ram. Tapovanam Sri Sai Satcharitramu. Phalasruti, the benediction. Parayanam of this holy book brings the beatific divine form of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba to the reader's mind with the abundant grace of Bhagavan. His divine name dances on his tongue and lips. Baba said once, The gardener orders the laborer to dig. The laborer just obeys and digs on. It is for the gardener to decide how much of the material should go to the each plant. Similarly, my order is that you perform Namasmaranam and Rupa Dhyanam, mental repetition of the name and meditation of the form. You go on with your task. It is my job to see where and how much to allocate the fruits thereof. Let us concentrate on implementing Baba's command in earnest. It is for him to rescue us from the crushing wheels of the cycle of birth and death. Swami's supreme divinity, Swami's boundless compassion, and Swami's unfathomable love displayed time and again, in incident after incident, overwhelm us with astonishment, yearning, and also supreme happiness. We soon develop a sense of non-attachment, Vairagya Bhava, as we realize that everything lies in the hands of all-controlling Baba and that we are merely toys in his divine hands. It frees us from the bonds of worry that beset our lives. In due course, it leads us to realization of self, Atma Sakshatkara. It is an established fact that the choking mesh of deeds of past lives, Karma Bandhanam, is torn aside if we sing in praise of Bhagavan with full-throated ardor, Kirtanam. If we incessantly meditate on Swami and if we do unremitting service to Swami and in his name. Sri Sathya Sai Bhagavan transcends every other god. Therefore, people professing any faith and religion, people from any state, country or land, indeed the entire humanity, may read this holy book, may hear this holy book. Swami says, if you are a Christian, be a good Christian. If you are a Muslim, be a good Muslim. I have come not to divert you from your faith, but to build up strong faith in your own religion. Sai faith is nothing but harmonization of all faiths and faith in your own religion. And to stress the interconnection of the basics of all major religions of the world, Sarvamata Dharma Sammatam is Sai Matam. Accordingly, devotional reading of this sacred book, devotional hearing of this sacred book strengthens a person's belief in divinity and faith in his own religion. Thereby, he will be inspired to adhere to the right path, the path of divinity. After reading about Sri Sathya Sai's divinity, after hearing about the Sathya Sai's divinity, people from hundreds of countries pray, Swami, kindly give us too the exhilarating experience of witnessing instances of your divinity. They receive Baba's blessings in ample measure. They forget themselves as they are showered with Bhagavan's compassion and love. This is a fascinating process going on every moment all over the world in this age of Kali Yuga. This is an open secret, a divine secret known to everyone. One may master the Vedas and the Upanishads, but to understand Bhakti in no way is no easy task. This life story of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is a Veda about the Veda Purusha, the divine, to whom all Vedas are dedicated. Reading of this Veda, hearing of this Veda makes it all the easier to understand the essentiality of Bhakti, which is love of God. Whoever reads or listens to life story morning and evening with unyielding devotion will attain everything beneficial in life and also will get relieved from the cycle of birth and death quite easily. That being the case, it goes without saying that worldly problems one faces in life are resolved automatically by the grace of Bhagavan. There is absolutely no room for a doubt that Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba will shower on his devotees compassion and love and bless them with earthly happiness and spiritual ananda. Baba says, how can I fail to remember one who always remembers me? He also said, Janma karma chame divyani, my life and my work are divine. Let us read the sacred life story of Bhagavan. Let us hear the life story of Bhagavan again and again. Let us remember him ever and over again. Let our devotion invite Bhagavan's favor. Let us witness the glorious spectacle of the entire world suffused with Bhagavan's life. Let us attain immortality. Our own experience, Sri Anubhavam, with Swami on the evening of 20th March in the year 2011. That was on the evening of 10th March 2011. Cine violinist Sridhar, Dr. Sarveshwar Rao and myself were discussing about Swami Leelas and the facilities at Prasanthi Nilayam. Suddenly Sridhar asked me, "Brother, we are going to Prasanthi Nilayam to have darshan of Baba. Would you be coming?" For this question, I answered affirmatively, "Certainly, I will come." Then the travel was fixed. Dr. Sarveshwar Rao, Sridhar and myself are ready to go to Prasanthi Nilayam to have darshan of Swami. Immediately, I logged into the system and reserved the accommodation by Yeshwanthapur Express. Dr. Sarveshwar Rao had mentioned that 2 days stay at Prasanthi Nilayam is not enough. It would be better we have a 3 days stay at Prasanthi Nilayam. We'll have a convenient darshan and blessings of Swami there. So I have applied for leave accordingly and reserved the accommodation in Yeshwanthapur Express from Hyderabad to Prasanthi Nilayam. The next morning my wife came from Tirupati pilgrimage and she asked, "What about myself? I too will follow you and have the darshan and blessings of Swami." Immediately I logged in once again and reserved the train ticket for her also on the same train to Prasanthi Nilayam. By the blessing of Swami, though we have booked the tickets at 2 spells, all of us have got seats at a same place. Our journey dates on 18th. Our stay at Prasanthi Nilayam is 19th, 20th and 21st. We have started back on 21st evening to Hyderabad and reached Hyderabad at 22nd. That was my first time going to Puttaparthi. By the divine blessings of Swami, we have a very pleasant stay at Prasanthi Nilayam and had the blessings of Baba. We are very fortunate to be in Prasanthi Nilayam on 19th, 20th and 21st. On 19th, on arrival in Prasanthi Nilayam, we were given accommodation in South Block 9, room number 9. Brother Sridhar is a gifted violinist and blessed by Baba several times. Dr. Sarveshwar Rao, blessed by Swami, is a very good doctor and practicing after retirement in allopathy and doing service by rendering medical service to needy and poor. We are very fortunate to have darshan of Swami with those blessed ones. Dr. Sarveshwar Rao took around us in Prasanthi Nilayam and he showed us each and every detail of Prasanthi Nilayam and in and outside Prasanthi Nilayam. So the visiting places like Dhyana Vruksham, Kalpa Vruksham, Sathya Sai birthplace, Satyama temple, Anjaneya Swami temple and samadhis of the parents of Swami. We had a very great time. On 19th, I attended the morning prayers and Veda Parayanam in Sai Kulvant Hall. In the evening also, we have attended Veda Parayanam and bhajans of Swami in the Sai Kulvant Hall. We could not have darshan of Swami on that day. On 20th morning, we woke up in the early hours and attended Nagara Sankirtana and Suprabhata Seva in the Prasanthi Nilayam and proceedings. We are a little bit worried that we could not get the darshan of Swami on that day and we have to leave Prasanthi Nilayam on 21st. The only day left is 20th. Brothers Sridhar and Dr. Sarveshwar Rao consoled us and said that Swami will not let the devotees unhappy. He will give darshan definitely to those who have arrived in Prasanthi Nilayam for the first time. Don't worry, you will have darshan of Swami today. On that evening of 20th March, the year 2011, as usual, we went into Sai Kulvant Hall for Veda Parayanam and bhajans of Swami. Veda Parayanam and bhajans are going on. Suddenly, and everybody is looking towards Yajurveda Mandiram. Swami is coming in a car for giving darshan to devotees in the Sai Kulvant Hall. We are very fortunate enough to see Swami and blessed by him on that day, the 20th March, the year 2011. That day Swami, after the bhajans and blessing the children whose birthdays were on that day, at the time of Harati, unusually gave a gesture of salutation to all his devotees instead of blessing Baba in a very rare and unimaginable gesture portrayed by Arvind, who is his official photographer, took his few pictures which Baba has never posed in a pose of salutations. A beautifully written note by Arvind, a young man who works at Radio Sai in Prasanthi Nilayam. He takes pictures and videos daily of Swami in Prasanthi and was the one who took the poignant pictures of Swami with his hand in Namaskar. Arvind's note. It happened on the evening of 20th March. Swami had not been keeping well, if I may use that term. His darshans were few and spaced between, and yet on this day he took 2 darshan rounds. He called all the students who were seated for blessings and poured grains on their head. About 40 students were blessed that day. A student portrayed the picture of Mother Ishwaramma and put it before Swami for his blessing. Swami had given some directions and changes to be made on the picture. Then Swami distributed a few sweets and smiled at all present. He even called the tiny tots from primary school and blessed them. In the words of a very senior singer, today Swami seems too hyperactive. There was rejoicing, and when he received Arati, everyone were thrilled with his tapping his hands rhythmically, and then it happened. As the Samasta Loka chant filled the air, Swami raised his hand, but it was not the familiar Abhaya Hasta. He had folded his palms in salutation. He seemed to send a beautiful message, salute all for God is in all. The Vedic chant Sahasra Sirsha Purusha resounded in my heart. That hymn says that God has 1,000 limbs, heads and sense organs, symbolic of the fact that the God is in all. In the Bharatiya custom, this is how one takes leave after a visit. My hairs stand at their end and I have goosebumps when I realize how Swami had indicated the Mahasamadhi, but I did not see. Swami says, Pasyam apina pasyati mudho. You fool, you see and yet you do not see. That was the condition, but I took pictures that day. And today, just seeing the pictures is so relieving and enthralling, for it told me that Swami knows his plans. Even when he was fine and was a week away from being admitted to the hospital, Swami had shown us his decision. And in showing us this decision, he also showed us his expectations. He wants our lives to be his message, and one of his final acts of benediction teaches us that we should see him in all just as he saw himself in all. He should bow to him in all just as he bowed to him in all. He should love all and serve all just as he did. And in order to share the experience, insight and blessings of Swami that day, I post the 5 images. Let us pledge to him that we will live in our lives, imbibe his message of pure love for all. This was the happening on 20th March 2011. And we are very fortunate enough to have Swami's darshan on that day. Ever in the service of Baba Pappu Venkata Bhoga Rao with brothers Sridhar and Dr. Sarveswar Rao. Sai Ishwarastrayo Matyo Satya Dharma Parayanaha Papa Vyadhi Visuddhatma Yati Satya Sanatanam. Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram. Hail the glory of Lord Sai. Om Sri Sathya Sai ParabrahmaNe Namaha. The end of Tapovanam Sri Satya Sai Satcharitram. Sarvam Sri Satya Sai Charana Arpanamastu. This Tapovanam was written by Santisri Jandhyala Venkateswara Sastry and narrated by Pappu Venkata Bhoga Rao. A humble offering of love to Swami. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Om Shanti శాంతి శాంతి